Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Another day, another video. My name is Aiman bin Zainal. I am the first presenter for the group 12. This is a communication system course. So, we are responsible to present a wireless sensor network application in a smart grid. So, what is a smart grid? Smart grid can be defined as an electrical grid which include a variety of operation and energy measure. In a traditional way, is only a one-way electricity flow, and then a smart grid is a two-way electricity flow. So a network delivery electricity from the producer to the final destination where electricity is consumed or consumer. It is a two-way flow of electricity and a data. We see that in smart grid there is smart metering. Then a digital transformation of electricity sector is help to the technician, even the engineer, to make efficient work during their distribution in this big smart grid. Then a smart distribution board and the circuit breaker integrate with the home control and the self-healing capabilities in a smart grid. Next is a renewable energy resource. We see that to have a smart grid that have big and large grid, we need a lot of energy source such as a renewable energy source. Then enable electricity customer to be active participant. As we see that there is a two-way of electricity flow, then the consumer is also a participate in this type of work. What is a wireless sensor? Wireless sensor can be defined as a large number circulating, collect, process, and transfer data to the operator, and it has a control the capabilities of computing processing. So we see from the picture, there is a wireless network. Basically, wireless network is so synonym with the internet. You see, to having a connecting internet, we need a connection. We call it a medium, but in this case, the wireless is a cable are not used. So the sense that rely on the wireless connectivity and the simultaneous formation of a network so that the sensor data can be transported wirelessly. A monitor physical, to measure a temperature, sound, a pollution level, humidity, pressure, and wind. So it is a sensor that wireless that not having a connection or medium to give a data or respond to what they are measured surrounding. Next is industrial and the consumer application, such as industrial process monitoring and control, and also machine health monitoring. We see as example, if in the factory, in the production line, but engineer or technician can monitoring that far from the production, so it may take easy to make a job done. And lastly, wireless sensor network are using in a computer science and especially telecommunications system.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is HAKIM and I'm going to explain about the types of wireless sensor network architectures. Okay, the architectures used in the application is a sensor network architecture. This kind of architecture is applicable in different places such as hospital, schools, road, building, as well as used in different applications such as in security management, disaster management, and crisis management, and etc. There are two types of architecture, which is layered network architecture and clustered network architecture. These are explained as following below. Okay, in the layered network architecture, this kind of network use hundreds of sensor nodes as well as a base station. The arrangement of network nodes can be done into concentric layers. It comprises 5 layers as well as 3 cross layers, which is include the following. The 5 layers in the architecture are application layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. So the 3 cross layers include the following: power management plan, mobility management plan, and touch management plan. So this is a block of layered network architecture. We can see application, transport network, data link, and physical layer, and the side one is from the task management plan, mobility, and the power management plan. So the advantages of using layered network architecture is that each node participate only in short distance, low power transmission to nodes of the neighboring codes, because of which power consumption is less as compared to other sensor network. It is scalable and has a higher fault tolerance. Okay, the next one is the clustered network architecture. In clustered network architecture, sensor nodes autonomously collapse into groups called cluster. It is based on the leech protocol, which makes us of cluster. Leech protocol stands for low energy adaptive clustering hierarchy. Okay, there are properties of the leech protocol. It is a hierarchy clustering architecture, and the second one is it is a distributed algorithm for organizing the sensor nodes into group called cluster. The third one, the cluster head node in each of the autonomously formed cluster creates the time division multiple access (TDMA) schedules. And the last one, it makes use of the concept called data fusion, which makes it energy efficient. Okay, this is the figure for the cluster network. Okay, we can see the round one is the cluster head, and the round one with this sensor node, and last one is flow of data. So cluster network architecture is very useful sensor network because of the property of data fusion. Inside each cluster, each node communicate with the cluster head to gather the information. All the cluster which are formed share their gathered information to the base station. The cluster formation and selection of cluster head inside each cluster is an independent and autonomous distributed process. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm ROSENIDAS. My metric number is B01810327. So I'm going to present about characteristic of wireless sensor network. The first point is low cost. In the wireless sensor network, normally 100 or 1000 of sensor nodes are deployed to measure any physical environment. In order to reduce the overall cost of the whole network, the cost of the sensor network must be kept as low as possible. The second point is energy efficient. Energy in wireless sensor network is used for different purposes such as computations, communication, and storage. Sensor node consume more energy compared to any other for communication. Third point is computational power. Normally, the node has limited computational capability as the cost and energy needed to be considered. Fourth point is self-organization. The sensor node in the network must have the capability of organizing themselves as the sensor nodes are deployed in an unknown fashion in an unattended and hostile environment. The next one is small physical size. Sensor nodes are generally small in size with a restricted range. Due to its size, its energy is limited, which makes the communication capability low. Next is security and privacy. Each sensor node should have sufficient security mechanism in order to prevent unauthorized accesses, attack, and unintentional damage of the information inside of the sensor node. Last point is communication capability. Wireless sensor network typically communicate using radio wave over a wireless channel. It has the property of communicating in short range with narrow and dynamic bandwidth. Okay, now I'm talking about the advantage of wireless sensor network. First is reduced cost because it avoids a lot of wiring. Second is easy monitoring because it can be accessed through centralized monitor. Third is flexibility so that to go through physical partition. Last one is extendable because it can add new device anytime. Thank you.
Okay, for application of wireless sensor network, smart grid are used to distribute energy power from power plant to end customer. There are three major processes that take place. There is power generation, power delivery, and power utilization. 7 specific domains are involved in this process. There is the power plant domain, the substation domain, the distribution domain, the market domain, the operation domain, the service provider domain, and the customer domain. Wireless sensor network has been widely recognized as a vital component of the electric power system, different from wireless ad hoc network. Wireless sensor network contain a large number of low cost, low power, and multifunctional sensor node which can be of benefit to electric system automation application, especially in urban areas. The sensor node take advantage of demographic, action, communication, situation, or other data such as physical environment, location data, distance, temperature, sound, air pressure, time, lighting level, people nearby, customer preferences, and even customer emotional state. There are also map the physical characteristic of environment to quantitative measurement. Okay, the collaborative and contact awareness nature of wireless sensor network brings several advantage over traditional sensing, including greater fault tolerance, improved accuracy, larger coverage area, and extraction of location features. Sensor node can monitor the overall network and to communicate with the control center in the power utility in order to help operation decide the appropriate action. The sensor node can communicate with the task manager via internet or satellite. Wireless sensor network is a cost-effective solution for monitoring, control, measurement, and fault diagnosis in various domains of smart grid network. A sensor node mainly contains sensor, memory, processor, power supply, transceiver, and actuator. Sensors are used to sense various quantities like humidity, temperature, and current. The World Wide Web for wireless sensor network simplifies both sensing and communication needs. Small sensor nodes are linked together to form a sensor network, which is utilized for remote wireless communication in HAN, NAN, and WAN network, among other things. The deployment of sensor nodes on a large scale may be used to transmit the status of different generating, transmission, and distribution unit. Wireless sensor network are applicable for the following smart grid utilities. For the first one is smart power generation. Wireless sensor network can be used at the generation site for monitoring and management of produced energy. It is prominent solution for smart microgrid application using renewable energy resource. Wireless sensor network can be used in solar farm, wind farm, biogas plant to monitor and control intermittent energy. One of the objectives of smart grid is to expedite the use of renewable energy resource. Renewable energy resources are situated in harsh environment and hostile location. Moreover, their unpredictable behavior create more challenge during their operation and management. Okay, for the second one is smart power transmission and distribution. Transmission and distribution of power contain various components like overhead transmission line, underground cable network, substation, and distribution transformer. Wireless sensor network is an essential element of SCADA system. Real-time remote monitoring of this component in this inevitable to prevent power failures due to equipment breakdown or malicious attack. Wireless sensor network can be used for power monitoring, fault detection and isolation, location discovery, and outage detection. For the last one is customer application. Wireless sensor network is an effective and prominent solution for home automation system. It can be used for complete energy management of customer premise. Consumer play an active role in smart grid technology. Consumers have the power to decide the time of use and rate of energy use in smart home. For this application, wireless sensor network are inevitable for communication and processing of information. Wireless sensor network is the backbone of smart home application and HANS.